Alrighty, welcome one and all to a new campaign, and the reason for this campaign is because with the other three campaigns that I have going right now, I realize they are all evil campaigns, and sometimes I just feel the need to balance out the good and the evil. So I have decided to go ahead and jump into the Empire here, which I guess we could say that they're good, their order anyway. And I have not played Karl Franz in a very, very long time, so I'm kind of curious to see how much he has changed through the years. So, going to go ahead and give this a shot. For anybody new, first of all, welcome. I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you stick with us for a little while. But I'm going to go ahead and flash on the screen a summary of the rule set that we're using, which is pretty standard for this channel. But basically, it is a way to kind of slow down the pacing of the campaign, make it longer and more epic feeling, more challenging as well. I know that is not for everybody, and so I want to be respectful of your time and give you the opportunity to at least know what you're getting into before you jump into this. So all that being said, I think let's go ahead and get started. I don't think I really have to give anybody a real introduction to Karl Franz. I'm going to assume that just about everybody is already familiar with the basics of Karl Franz, and probably most of you much more so than I am, because like I said, it has been a very long time since I've played him. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here. As always, legendary very hard. I'm going to leave all of the basic parameters here the way that we normally do. I do want to make sure it auto saves to cloud and Iron Man mode. Okay, I think we're ready to get going here. So let's go ahead and jump into this. As always, I welcome comments on the videos. I am always trying to improve the immersion quality, but just the overall quality of the videos on this channel. So I appreciate any feedback that any of you want to provide. And also, I haven't really mentioned this before, although some of you have already done this on your own anyway, but please feel free to leave comments with recommendations or your own personal choices for names of, let's say, characters, heroes, or lords, or maybe even settlements. Within reason, I want to stay fairly immersive. I'm not going to have any ridiculous names, and no politics or religion, please. But I absolutely will take some suggestions as far as that is concerned. And maybe you want to name a I don't know, a unit of Empire Knights or something like that as well. So I'll accept pretty much most suggestions.
Now is the time, men of the Empire, to unite!
Okay, little bitty bit of a delay there loading into this map, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So we have one significant change for this channel. I've not used this particular mod before, but some of you probably will notice right away the glaringly obvious difference. I am not using the dynamic world mod anymore, which affects the way corruption looks on the map, which is absolutely one of my favorite mods. But the reason for that is because I wanted to give a try to a different mod that is mostly cosmetic, but not 100%. And that is the OVN Lost World mod. And take a look at this. This is, again, first time I've ever used this mod, first time I've loaded into a campaign with it. And how absolutely gorgeous does Altdorf look now? It looks like a real city. I mean, it looks like a unique, distinctive city. So that's very, very cool. Now, of course, it's still only a size 1 city, so no functional change there. But in any case, it does look very, very cool. I'm assuming it won't change at all as we grow it. I think there is a sort of a supplemental mod that you can use that might change the shape of it as it grows, and I know it also changes the appearance of cities based on whichever faction owns them. I thought about trying that, but I wanted to start out with this one, and I don't really know how I feel about the idea of a city completely transforming how it looks just because it's been occupied by a new military force. I'm not sure quite how realistic or immersive that is. So anyway, enough said about all that. If you have any thoughts or comments about that mod, please do let me know about that as well. But in any case, I think that we'll go ahead and get started here. We've got, I think this is new, at least since the last time I played. I don't remember the Karaberg Greatswords being a part of Emperor Karl Franz's starting army, but it's fine. Certainly don't have an issue with it. Engage the enemy, of course. We have an objective here to attack Helmut Ludendorff. And, of course, we're going to probably try to press on and take Castle Reichsgard here as soon as possible. Now, one thing that any newcomers to my campaigns will probably notice right away is we're using a mod that cuts campaign movement in half. So I do not know, but I think it's extremely unlikely that we're going to be able to reach this settlement on the first turn. We're going to have to fight this battle on the first turn, maybe do a little bit of recruiting while we're still in our own territory here, and then attack this on the next turn. May not seem like that big of a deal here at the very beginning. Believe me, it does compound over time, and it makes really it transforms the campaign. It makes massive offensive much more difficult. You have to actually do things like fight field battles, and then combine that with the additional garrisons that we're giving to settlements and the buffs that we give garrisons. It makes taking objectives like the different settlements much more difficult. So really what it does is it takes away the steamrolling effect that vanilla Warhammer has, and I've got no idea how much that's going to impact the Karl Franz campaign, so we are going to find out together. But enough rambling here, Michael. I guess I will take a look at the diplomacy really quickly, because you're never, on the first turn, you're never as strong as you are at the very beginning. So we could conceivably go ahead and get some things done now that we won't be able to get done after a battle. I do want to play Karl Franz as very much a pro-order, immersively, thematically, a pro-order legendary lord. So he's not going to be declaring war on any of the order factions, and I'm not going to just automatically declare war on every chaos faction, but that is certainly what we're going to have the tendency to do. So anywhere where we can have good relations with our fellow order factions, particularly imperial factions, we want to do that. Whether it's really good for us or not, that's sort of going to tie our hands. We want to... What did I get wrong here? Quick deal. Averland. There we go, bounce off, or I must have just misclicked on something. That's what happens when I talk and try to do things at the same time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and have trading agreements going with several of the other Empire factions, which is good. We, again, military access. Again, I just want to be as, as good of a leader to all of the Empire factions as possible. Not always doing what is in our own best interest, but we want to be somewhat altruistic about it and lead by example. So we are going to go ahead and take those trade agreements and non-aggression pacts where we can find them. Okay, now let's go ahead. Wait a minute, let me make sure. We have no heroes to get into the army right now. That's fine. Let's go ahead and attack. And another thing for anyone who happens to be new is I almost never auto-resolve any battles. Only the most ridiculously one-sided ones, and this one is fairly one-sided, but it's not ridiculously so. So we're going to go ahead and fight this manually, and I will hopefully get some decent cinematics out of this battle as well. I will also say, while this is loading up, link in the description to the video where I go into detail about all the mods we're using to create this grand strategy, and a little bit of the rationale behind each of them. And having said all that, let's go ahead and pull them towards us with our mortars. Another thing about the way that I fight battles, again, I try to fight thematically and immersively, which means not abusing the enemy AI. So I don't do things like, run around to try to draw fire with units that are never actually in any danger of being hit, or trying to draw off, half of the army or more than half of the army chasing a unit that they'll never catch up with. I prefer to fight rather more traditional battles where we have front line, we have flankers, we have hammer and anvil tactics, things like that. So we do want to get our... I mean, we want to fight them smart. We do want to use, you know, intelligent tactics, but I just don't want to abuse the AI. So let's go ahead and get you guys over along the flank over here. I think we'll go ahead and do this. Should be a fairly straightforward battle. They have to come towards us because of our mortar, of course. I might as well at least decide who to hit with the mortar. Spearmen, swordsmen, spearmen, swordsmen. We'll go ahead and keep hitting those swordsmen for the moment, but in a moment I think I will change it to the crossbowmen there. In fact, speaking of crossbowmen, let's go ahead and see if we can get around behind on them. Karl, Franz, let's go ahead and maybe start sending you forward just a little bit. You've got your buff here, the Reichland Rune Fang. Now our gunners are shooting. That's always good. I'm a little interested to see how with the changes from Thrones of Decay, how much that's going to impact our use of handgunners and other gunpowder units. Let's go ahead and get you going in there. Let's go ahead and get you around the flank. You can move to here to keep shooting. You, I kind of want you guys to hit from an angle that allows our handgunners over here to keep shooting at you. So let's go ahead and charge in there. That ought to work just fine. You can get around. You over here, go ahead and get in on them. You know what, you didn't work out very well to have me move you already. So now we're gonna get you shooting at them. We're gonna get you shooting over them there at them. Let's go ahead and do this. That does affect all allies within 35 meters. I probably should have had him fighting a little bit closer. Okay, I no longer need the mortars to shoot at the crossbowmen. Let's try to maybe get the mortars. Now, I actually don't think I even want to risk the mortars firing at these swordsmen. Don't think it'll be necessary. We're pretty much winning everywhere. Karl, Franz, you can pull back a little bit. You have taken some damage. We got them shattered back there. Let's go ahead and get you guys charging into the back of them. That'll be fine. Karl, Franz, you're not real fast, are you? Come on, gunners. Shoot him down. Shoot him down. Why are you not shooting? Why are you not shooting? Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay, you turn, shoot. Come on, guys. I know you can do it. Looks like we're winning pretty much everywhere back there. Let's go ahead and cycle charge a bit with... Okay, never mind, everybody's... It's army losses. Okay, there we go. Well, Karl, Franz took a bit of damage, but it's fine. Alrighty then. So Karl Franz himself took some damage. We really didn't take very much in the way of actual casualties, though, other than him getting a little bit dinged up. So I'll take that. I think that's a fair exchange. And we did kill the enemy lord, so we should maximize our rewards here. I'll just be a little bit more careful with him for the next few battles until he gets some replenishment. Now, we're also using a mod that reduces replenishment by 50%. So definitely going to have to pay a lot of attention to casualties. It does, again, contribute to the reducing the steamrolling effect that you can have in vanilla. Let's go ahead and take... I'm going to take the unit experience. I'm not overwhelmed by 283 gold. And the army replenishment of 6% sounds good until you could remember that it doesn't do anything for your characters. Got a follower here. We'll take it. Wins a magic reserve capacity, plus 18. Very good. Apprentice wizard. And, of course, we got our reward for our first objective being completed, and we did encounter black venom. Okay, good to know. Let's go ahead and zoom back in with the mini map and spin our camera around so
I command here.
get my bearings once more. Okay, yeah, so as you can see here, because of the mod that we're using, we are not able to reach to attack the first turn. It does have a substantive impact on the pacing of a campaign. Let's go ahead, take a look at him here. Got our magic item, got our ancillaries. This hunter is only for hero units, it looks like. Okay, fair enough. Now, what it does mean is we'll go ahead and do some recruiting. I think I want to have... I like having spearmen or halberds, one on each side to protect from flankers. So we're going to go ahead and get one unit of spearmen since I can't recruit halberdiers yet. And then with our second unit, I think maybe... yeah, we'll just go with another unit of swordsmen for now. Want to have ample melee infantry. With the mods that we're using that affect battles, we are using Andy slower movement, which slows down your melee infantry, and then the longer battles mod, the slightly longer battles mod, or I should say the reduced version of it, whatever, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but anyway, it does have an impact on the way that battles play out, and I think it does overall, and realistic accuracy as well. So it makes melee infantry a bit more viable and reduces the sort of overpowered nature of your missile units. Let's go ahead and get a level up here for Altdorf. Obviously, we're going to keep the port. And we'll keep this for now, but eventually we will be replacing the barracks in Altdorf with a different kind of building, and we will instead get the barracks built in one of our minor settlement locations, because there's no need to have a building that only goes up to level 3, excuse me, in a city that goes up to level 5. All right, let's... oh, we have a commandment over here, of course, because I forgot we actually start with this. So, obviously we can't level it up yet, but what we can do, because we don't worry about control here, we're going to go ahead and use the growth building right there. Boom. That will make this level up a little bit faster. We need to remember to keep 2,000 gold in order to be able to level that up. But even as it stands right now, the garrison there is already strong enough to hold out against most early game armies. Back to Altdorf. Now you may notice Altdorf, let's take a look at the building browser here. It has, if I read the mod correctly, it has one less landmark than it used to. And instead, this used to be Grunberg, of course. It has been renamed to Castle Reichgard, and that aforementioned landmark is now built here instead. So something different as a result of the OVN mod. Let's go ahead and I think we're going to start out with our update troop standards. Kind of approach this Karl Franz campaign like a, you know, again, thematically, but no special trickery, no special skipping of all of the normal units that you would think of associated with the Empire in order to go with, you know, a Doomstack or something like that. And I think I've already done all the diplomacy that we need to do, and I do want to really quickly take a look here at our victory conditions. So for the Route 1, oh, I didn't even realize I guess I'm still using the victory conditions overhaul mod, which is cool. That's fine. So we have 3 different routes here for this particular campaign. And this is Protector of the Empire. A mysterious plague spreads from the north. Beastmen prey upon the Emperor's loyal subjects within the Drakh-walled forest. Marienburg's succession drains the Imperial coffers on a daily basis. Barely recovered from his most recent skirmish with the Greenskins at Blackfire Pass, Karl Franz readies the men for a new campaign to unite the western provinces of his empire. So we have to maintain control of all of these, which is fine. Destroy or vassalize Marienburg, and this is Khazrak and Festus, okay? And that is called the Reclamation of Marienburg. Provides the campaign victory, and what that would get for us is income from trade good producing buildings plus 50%, leadership plus 10 when fighting at sea, and melee attack plus 10 when fighting at sea. Second route, Defier of the Dark. This is good. This makes me automatically, thematically think that this is the one that I want to focus on because of what I said earlier about we wanted to be a very pro-order and anti-chaos theme in this campaign. Grim tidings make their way from the east. Despite his apparent death beneath the ramparts of Altdorf many years ago, the vampire Vlad von Karstein has returned. While he musters his legion of the dead, malicious tree spirits gather in the Griffin Wood, slaughtering good citizens of the Empire without rhyme or reason, and disturbing reports of doppelganger activity continue to plague Stirland. This cannot stand. Karl Franz orders his men east to put down these new threats to his reign once and for all. So again, it's another 11 provinces, this time destroy or vassalize Sylvania and Wargrove of Woe. This is Draika. And this would get us enemy hero action success chance, minus 20%. That's good. Hero capacity, plus 4 for warrior, priests, and witch hunters. That's excellent. And corruption, minus 4. That is also very good. And we'll go ahead and take a look here at the third one. Darkness Rising. Again, pretty thematic for us. Archaon the Everchosen has united the warring tribes of the north and now marches south with the largest host ever seen in living memory. In response, Karl Franz sends his emissaries across the known world. He will assemble a grand council of war, a conclave of light, to stand against the coming darkness. So we have to move a character to several different locations. And when I say several, apparently I mean 5. And that makes sense. Basically, to conduct parlaying with all of the different major order factions. I like the idea of that, or I should say maybe races, not just factions. And then at the same time, we have to have a defensive military alliance with 5 factions and destroy the war host of the apocalypse, which is, of course, Archaon. And this gets us the Conclave of Light. The Storm of Chaos quest battle will begin. Interesting. As well as campaign victory. Okay. All right, looking forward to that. Let's hope that we can do better than we did in my Malachi campaign and not accomplish much of anything. All right, let's go ahead and... I think we're ready to end our turn now. No real reason to take a look at electoral machinations at this point, I don't think, or the electoral counts. Okay. Finally, everyone is saying he's finally stopped talking long enough to click on end turn. Alrighty. The college's endorsement. Hero recruit. Battle wizard. Very cool. Okay. The colleges of magic rarely agree, but on this occasion they are aligned and will support you. A battle wizard is sent to accompany your forces. Let's see what... Wait a minute. Where is it? Oh, he's all the way down here. Oh, he's a gray wizard. He's a gray wizard. That means I'm going to have to teach myself how to use... Oh, wait a minute. This looks like... this is death magic, isn't it? Or no, shadow magic. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know shadow magic. That's no problem at all. We like shadow magic, so that works for me. Let's go ahead and give him the ancillary here that I couldn't give last turn. And war declared between Black Venom and the dwarfs. Okay, we got our units recruited. One thing that I thought about doing, and then I didn't really think about it long enough, is I could have recruited another lord here, but I don't really know quite how our economy is going to be functioning here after we get more or less a full army recruited here for Karl Franz. So
Who calls?
maybe just as well that I did not go ahead and recruit another lord at this point. What we do want to do here is we know that we want to hit Castle Reichgard with Karl Franz's army. Now, Castle Reichgard is going to be a walled city, so right away we're going to find out what difference the mods that we're using make. So this garrison is stronger than it otherwise would be, and it's buffed, and things like the gates and the towers are more difficult. We have a slower climbing speed using ladders, things like that. So it does make attacking walled settlements much more problematic. However, having said that, there is no opposing army reinforcing that garrison. I still like our chances. Let's take a look. Crushing defeat is what it's telling us. So what we're going to do, it's going to take us 2 turns to build some siege towers. I am going to go ahead and build those siege towers. The reasons are sort of twofold. One, because of what I just said, which is this is going to be a much more difficult battle than it would be in vanilla. Actually, 3 reasons. A second reason is I want to get our wizard into the army to get him some experience. Third reason is because thematically, I just don't think it makes sense to be able to walk up to a walled city with a low-level army, not do any preparations whatsoever, and charge right in and capture it. Often with limited casualties. Now, in this case, we would take some fairly significant casualties, and I think we might be able to win. We'd take a lot of casualties, and as I mentioned before, we're also using a mod that slows down replenishment. So casualties, you have to be a lot more considerate about them than you would be in vanilla. So this does give us an opportunity then to think about recruiting another hero, or I'm sorry, another lord. I think what would make sense, I do like tough. I want to get at least one of all of them going. I'm kind of leaning Master Engineer just to lean into the changes made with Thrones of Decay. Although granted, we're not Wissenland, so we're not going to be nearly as engineering focused as Elspeth is. I do like Confident though. Passive ability, extra reload. That's just for self. I think I'm going to lean towards General of the Empire for now. We're going to give you tough.
Who calls? Yes, a sound.
And since we cannot recruit with Karl Franz because we're in enemy territory, we will instead recruit over here. I'm going to get a couple of spear units. Okay. We can handle it. Our economy is okay right now. I do want to keep an eye here on what our enemy is doing. They are recruiting. I should also take a look at how strong they are. Empire Successionists, they're 143 to our 122, so we're starting out really not all that strong in the greater scheme of things relative to everyone else. We're barely stronger than Empire Successionists are, and because of the AI's ability to out-recruit us on Legendary difficulty in particular, it won't be long probably before they are technically a stronger faction than we are. Want to continue to do the diplomacy, again, to continue to show leadership for the Empire, because that is, after all, our aspiration is to lead the Empire in war against chaos. Okay, let's go ahead now and do another in turn. I suppose there is a chance that Castle Reichgard's garrison will sally out and attack us. If they do, that's fine. It saves us from having to assault the walls. But I don't think they will. Nope, they did not. Okay. Not a whole lot happening over that end turn either. We did. Hello. Thank you. For a second there, wasn't letting me click.
No peace.
Okay, so now we can get
I will
him
marshal the band.
in march stance. We can go ahead and get him into this army. Yeah, in march stance we could get our secondary army here.
We
Let's
must attack.
go ahead and call him by name. Gregor Braun. You know what I've decided to do? I mentioned before that that we can, you know, that I will accept suggestions for names of units. I will happily change these names later, but I do actually want to do a little bit of renaming here. So these guys are no longer just spearmen shields. These are the first Altdorf spears. I want to keep track of my original army. So you guys are the first Altdorf halberdiers. Okay, I think I spelled that correctly. Did I? Oh, I did indeed. Okay. And then we've got the swordsmen. You are the first Altdorf swords. Men, why not? You are the second Altdorf swordsman. And you are the third Altdorf swordsman. You already have a name. You are the first Altdorf. I bet you guys can figure out what I'm going to put here, huh? Very creative, my naming schemes here. And the second Altdorf and gunners. The first Altdorf Reichsguard. Wait a minute, are you Reichsguard or are you Empire Knights? You're Reichsguard, right? Gotta spell it right here. I just realized that didn't do me any good to to look at it like that. All right, Reichsguard. Let's find Reichsguard. Outriders. Where the heck are the Reichsguard at? This actually gives me a chance to. Those are Empire Knights. Reichsguard. Yes, that's how you spell them, and that is what they look like compared to Empire Knights having the lances. So you guys are the Reichsguard, okay. And then finally, last but not least, first, Altdorf mortars, okay. Just to give everybody a little bit of distinction, a little bit of uniqueness, a little bit of theme. All right, so what we're going to do, you at this point, still crushing defeat. We don't have the siege towers yet, not for one more turn. I'm assuming, yeah, we only have time to do just this. We will definitely want to attack next turn, so I'm going to continue the siege. I'm going to get you headed over this way, and we're going to go ahead and recruit in some more swordsmen. Spin you around. Okay. Altdorf, you're still a turn away from leveling up. Diplomacy, quick deal.
What?
Alright. Let's go ahead and do one more in turn. Get some action in the next turn, I promise. Okay, so the Empire Successionists did recruit another lord. So they now have 2 armies. But that's okay. State troop standards, very good. We'll definitely take that. All right. Yeah, I have to remember that. I'm assuming it's just because of the OVN Lost Worlds mod. It just takes an extra second at the beginning of each turn. So
Raise your
not
weapons.
anywhere near as much of a concern performance-wise as what we had with the Old World mod, which I hope they get the performance concerns straightened out because that looked like an amazing mod,
Fight
but
for
it
our
just
nation.
was not, it did not perform well. All right, so let's go ahead and get you up to here.
Compels us.
We're going to go ahead and hand over the swordsmen. We're going to
Yes,
keep
my
the
lord.
spearmen in this army.
To war.
Let's go ahead and give you, or launch the attack here. Now we're at a close victory. We do have 2 siege towers. Let's take a look here at the layout. Okay, we know right here there's no towers that can shoot at us, so that's where we'll head. Don't love the lack of variety of the walled settlements. I do think that should be maybe not the very highest priority, but it should be a fairly high priority for Creative Assembly to add more walled city layouts, particularly for major cities like, I don't know, let's say, you know, the capitals of Reichland and Cathay and Bretonia. You know, they should have, like, the major cities should have their own unique maps. And I know that there are some mods that do try to rectify that. They do add some distinctive maps. I've messed around with them a little bit. I've had some trouble with getting them working, and it's always better to not have to use mods for stuff like that. You do start to run into, like, it makes pathfinding much worse, and pathfinding is already a problem. Anyway, enough said about all that, Michael. Let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, get my bearings here. Where is it? Right. Am I already in the right spot? Oh, no, this is not. Okay. Yeah, no, this is the right spot. Right here. Okay. So right here, we're going to get you two right here. Move you as close as possible to the green line there. Let's get all of you right behind. They have no towers right here. Now, they will build towers that can shoot out, but it's fine. This is at least a way that we can do some approaching with minimal casualties. Let's go ahead and get the mortar. I doubt if the mortar would be able to take out the gate by the time we take the walls. But I don't know. It's possible. And Karl Franz, I do actually want to keep Karl Franz back here for the time being because I don't want him to take a whole lot of damage, especially not at the beginning of the campaign or at the beginning of the battle. So let's go ahead. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this with you. Drop siege equipment. I'm going to move you over to here. And I'm going to take you guys and put you there. That's a much better unit, I feel like, to lead the assault. So now we want to get you to start battle, get you onto the wall there. The mortar, fire at the gate. Let's go ahead and bring our wizard forward. He can do Mystifying Miasma there. Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. So that did almost 1,000 points, actually. That mortar might be able to break down that gate fairly quickly. We don't want to get our handgunners close enough to start shooting right now because of the battlements. We're going to have a heck of a time actually hitting anything. Okay, let's keep an eye on this. All right, yeah, we're doing between 8 and 900, I suppose, with each volley. Go ahead and speed things up here. All right, I'm going to go ahead at this point and start bringing forward you guys. You can be the next ones up after these units get on the walls. Meanwhile, 2,600. And do we want to start casting? This is a single unit. Let's hit those swordsmen, why not?
They are using dark forces against the enemy wizard spotted!
It's only 6 winds of magic. Okay, here we go. We're on the walls. They're actually trying to run away now. Let's go ahead and get you on those spearmen. Let's get you on those swordsmen. We did some damage with the spell here. Let's get you over here. Alright, and now let's go ahead and start bringing everybody else forward. Not the mortars. The rest of you, however, and Karl, Franz, you as well. You can start coming forward. How are we doing here? We're 24,000. Yeah, it's going to take a while. Alright, so you've engaged. You're taking some serious damage. I might want to actually switch out my mortar to hit those crossbowmen. See if we can do anything there. Let's go ahead and continue to hit these units. We also have the Lord there, so that's a concern. Alright, you get up here. You get up here. 23,000, yeah. Going to take a very long time to break down that gate. Are you firing? Hopefully you can hit them. Oh yeah, you can. Your aim is really crappy, but other than that. Yeah, these guys taking some serious damage here. But I presume they're dishing it out as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the spell casting here. So really it's pretty obvious that the walls are where all of the major action is going to take place. That suits me fine. Let's go ahead and get some more damage in on them. How are we looking with our reserves? We still have decent amount of reserves available. Let's see what we got here. You can move forward. You can move forward. Let's go ahead and get Karl Franz in here as well. Let's get him up that one, actually. So you don't go up yet. You go up this one. Alright. I'm going to speed up just a tad, just for the moment. Okay, let me go ahead and get another spell cast off here. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah, so our new Lord and his units can come forward here. Okay, now let's go ahead and get another spell off on... Oh, let's see here. Let's hit them. Our mortars have done a little bit of damage, not fantastic. Are you almost up there? Not quite yet. As soon as we get you up there, we're going to go ahead and use the Rune Fang here. That would be quite helpful. I'm assuming it will work on allies up on the walls. There he is, popping up. Go ahead and jump on the walls if you will. There you go. Well done. Let's go ahead and cast that, and let's get you on the enemy lord. And let's go ahead and cast another damaging spell on them. Maybe we can get those guys broken here soon. Our mortars are not doing super. How about you? How are you doing? You're still a ways away. Okay, now we can go ahead, obviously, and start getting more of these guys up. Okay, we're actually not winning this fight. That's a little bit disconcerting. Where did the enemy lord go? Did we defeat him? Look at that tangled mass of humanity up there on the walls. It's impressive. Okay, now it's time to get you... They're broken. Let's get you down here. And let's also get... Where's the halberdiers? Let's get you down here. And let's get you down here in front of them. Let's get you pushing them right there. You hitting them. We've pushed them back, and we should be able to take over the walls here, or the control point here, to let us take the gate. And then as soon as we do, let's actually get our Reichsguard here in position as soon as we take this control point. Which might take a while, because these greatswords are getting shot up pretty good. We're not even... Come on, man. We're not even taking it. Why not? They don't even have any units in. I guess they've got a couple of men from that unit right there, technically inside the box, and that's preventing us from taking it. Alright, well, let's take care of that. Boom. Go ahead and hit them. Force them to back away. Franz, let's get you over into there as well. Almost time to do another buff. Okay, let's just make sure that everybody is doing something productive here. Okay. Why are we not taking this over? Franz, you are just ignoring my orders. What a surprise, okay? Alright, let's go ahead and get you. There we go. We've captured an enemy victory point. That means we can get you in. Right as the crossbowmen have already broken. Okay. And we can get you guys in as well. Let's get you guys in. I think I saw that they had one more unit over here somewhere. Maybe not, actually. Maybe everybody that they've got is right here. Let's see if we can get a bit more damage on that unit, and then if we break them, that might be game over for this battle. Nah, they still have a couple of units there that haven't broken. Alright, tell you what, let's go ahead and get... those are spearmen. I don't really want to charge into the rear of spearmen. Let's go ahead and get you up into here. They don't have any artillery over here. We'll just take it over then. They're about to break, it looks to me. I think we're doing fine. Let's go ahead and... First of all, you can do that. You can do this. You can get in on them. Okay. Everybody press the attack here. You can hit from this side as well. At this point, we should be in really good shape. Getting shot a little bit here with our Reichsguard, but that's okay. They're tough. Victory! There we go. Alright, I'm going to assume that we did kill the enemy lord a long time ago. We did indeed, and this is a good win. This is, instead of just being a minor settlement, Grunberg, it's still a minor settlement, but this Castle Reichland, is that what it's called? Castle, I can't tell from this screen. Anyway, a little bit more meaningful now that we know it's a walled settlement with a landmark. And we managed to get Karl Franz some more fighting experience without him getting too much more badly damaged, so that's good. A little bit of prestige, always a good thing. A little bit of loot. Got ourselves almost enough to reach level 3. And we're going to occupy. So, yep, Castle Reichgard. Yeah, okay. Trying to remember the name of it. Okay, we've got ourselves a Forbidden Rod, which is an ability that I almost never use because it causes damage to self. We encountered the Court of Night. Okay. Minor Vampire Count faction. Got multiple ranks there. It's kind of strange how it tells you on the battle summary screen. It shows you how much experience you got, and then when you actually load in, you've always gotten a little bit more experience than not. It's not unusual to see it tick up and give you almost but not quite enough to level up, and then all of a sudden when you look at the event messages, you find out that you did level up. Never quite understood how that worked, but in any case, I won't knock it. Let's go ahead and give you Route Marcher, because this is extremely important with the campaign reduction mod that we're using, campaign movement reduction. Hold the line. That is decent. That's everybody within 35 meters. I'm tempted to do that. Yeah, it's thematic. Let's take it. You,
now,
let's give you a little bit of an improvement here on Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. And Karl Franz, we're back to being able to do recruiting with you. We're at 14 units. Okay, so let's think about how we want to do this. We now know that we can destroy this, we can demolish this barracks because we have the same building here in Castle Reichgard. The landmark is not until level 2. So we definitely want to level this up as quickly as possible. And a good way to do that is to give ourselves some growth. So I think we want to do this. I do love my economic buildings, but in the very early going, growth is almost unquestionably the highest priority. Alright, so back to how do we want to do recruiting here. I could do some archer units. I've got enough melee infantry. Yeah, let's take a couple archers. We haven't done anything to improve our handgunner units yet, so even though they are better than the archers, they're also more expensive, and they're not really boosted in any way by our lord or our faction right now. I should have at least refreshed my memory here on... Okay, campaign movement range plus 10% all armies. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Growth plus 5 per allied faction, so we definitely want to get as many allies going as we possibly can. And then Karl Franz, you yourself.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Additional 5% for all elector count state troops and an upkeep reduction. Okay. Alright, and we can't recruit any of them yet. It'll be a little while before we can get to that. Alright, so we've already got our settlement building going on. We've got our recruiting going on. Let's give you channeling stance. We'll get a wizard into your army at some point. And I don't want to recruit another lord.
Unworkable.
The good news is we've evened up the number of settlements between us and our enemy. 2 versus 2. Technically we have 3, but I don't really count this one because there's just nothing to be done here. Except, may as well go ahead and upgrade it because why not? Alright, but in any case, our settlements are obviously better. At least in the long run they will be better than those two. So we got that going for us. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our diplomacy. Still no additional trading to do. Okay. Do our research here. I think I'm going to try to do... Oh, it's really hard for me to say no to supply wagons plus 5% campaign movement range, but I'm going to actually go for the growth and casualty replenishment rate first. Both of these. See, this is what I like about the mods we're using. Little things like technology and character traits that do seemingly insignificant things like plus 5% to campaign movement range or plus 2% to casualty replenishment rate. Believe me when I say these things really matter in this campaign. All right, let's go ahead and end our turn. This will have to be the last end turn for this episode. I would love to get an alliance going with Wissenland and Nuln. Okay, this is interesting. He's got 3 armies. Or maybe that's the same army. I guess that's the same army. So he's got 1 full stack and 1 brand new recruiting stack. It's going to make it a little bit more challenging now to continue expansion beyond the point that we're at right now. This is what happens when you slow down the campaign pacing even by a little bit. All of a sudden you just can't steamroll through these guys nearly as quickly as you can in vanilla. Now I do assume that that's going to be a fairly weak army. He's probably got archers in it, but technically if you look at his faction strength, he is actually stronger than we are. He's at 115 and we're at 141, so I cannot assume that those are all weak units.
I command here.
Okay, so what we're going to have to do... Well, we'll have to wait until next episode, but we're going to have to figure out a way to outmaneuver these armies, because at this point, we cannot just march forward and take Ubersreich. Not with that size 10 garrison right there.
Not possible.
And he doesn't have the tavern built here. I'm assuming that special inn. Yeah, right here. Yeah, he'll get that built, and that's going to provide walls to the settlement as well as much more challenging garrison. But there may not be anything we can do to stop that from happening, because we can't march up there and take on 10, 11, 31 units with our
I will marshal the men.
19. So yeah, it's going to definitely require a little bit of maneuvering or something. But we'll figure all that out in the next episode. That's all we have for this one. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.